Ms. Moreau, I too am an attorney, which means I'm neither an economist nor a scientist. I also want to admit I live in Manhattan, but you need to be very careful because you don't know where people's husbands or family live when you make presumptions about where people come from. So what I want to know is, and I know that you were here, and if you didn't hear this testimony, perhaps you should look into it. Dr. Barth, who remains here, I've never met Dr. Barth, know nothing about Dr. Barth. Found her very persuasive, though, okay? This collection of humanity that sits before you is the best 15 people you will find in this building. These are the people who are desperate to try to find a way to do the right thing. And my question for you is, what is it that you think we're supposed to do when independent economists and scientists who know stuff that you and I lawyers just don't know say that your commercials are wrong, that the information you give is wrong, that the health impact is wrong? What is it that you think we're supposed to do? Now, I sense that you think that because I'm from Manhattan, I should just say I don't get to have a voice. Sorry about that, Ms. Moreau, that's not happening. But what are we supposed to do when all of these people come before us and say this is a real problem? The man next to you is not some left-wing screamer. Look at him. What are we supposed to do when people give us the information that gives us pause and makes us want to say, hey, we need to know more? Or, gee, that Dr. Barth was really on to something. We need to make sure that we protect our communities. What are we supposed to do?
Well, I guess my sense of things when it does come to the issue of upstate and downstate is that not enough has been done by people who make policy in this state for upstate communities in the southern tier. So I guess my question is, what have you been doing for all these years? And why do people have to live desperate lives in these places? And they do. And there are people, I have nothing against Manhattan, but when I go down there and I talk to my friends and we talk about this issue, one of the common things people say to me is, yeah, I know, I've been up there. There's nothing there. There's nothing for people to do. My friend's a hairdresser, but she can't work up there. There's no work. So I guess my question is, we do know right now that the economic situation in that part of the state is desperate. And it's
yes, we do. But we also have Dr. Barth, who comes in here and says that the analysis that you're giving us is dead wrong. And so, yes, my husband's family lived there, so you know. And yes, I have been to those towns. And yes, I have visited those towns. And in the end, if they come to the conclusion that what you're saying is going to happen is not going to work in the long run, then what are we supposed to do? Just say, well, because the industry has $1 million to put on commercials on TV to tell people that this is going to make it better, that we should just accept that? Or are we supposed to accept your, know nothing about all the problems that happen in Pennsylvania, or I've done no analysis, or I've read no study, or the person who wrote this study probably had a bias? Can't you do more than that? Can't you give these thoughtful people, ignore me, these thoughtful people the chance to have something to hold on to other than your desire for your industry to make more money for yourself and or your shareholders or whoever it is that you represent? And so in the end, the idea that because you live in Manhattan, you're anti-business, you're anti-farm, you're anti-rural, or your family doesn't live there is a really dangerous line to walk. It's a dangerous line to walk, and I resent it. Because the truth is, with the advent of email, guess what? I get emails from the people who live there who beg me to stop it, who live there, who live in those towns that you just described, begging me to stop it. And I have colleagues who are sitting here who represent there. So in the end, economic development for upstate New York should be the #1 priority of our government going forward. If you want to be part of that, you need to do a damn better job of counteracting the people in this room who have doctorates and scientific and economic knowledge and just saying, ignore the people behind the curtain. Because to be quite frank, it's just not enough. Thank you.